Since COVID, there has been a real focus on mental health.
The mental health of young people has also been brought into focus.
Many young people struggle with mental health.
Some are aware, some are not. We will look at how the approach to young people's mental health has improved.
And how the partnership in North Lanarkshire are working to make those improvements.
Let's see what's happening all across North Lanarkshire.
So my name's Vicky Trim. I'm a health improvement lead for North Lanarkshire Health and Social Care Partnership, and I have a role jointly to chair the North Lanarkshire Children and Young People's Mental Health and Wellbeing and Resilience task group, and that's alongside Andrew Gillis.
So my name's Andrew Gillis. I'm Senior Education and Families Manager in Social Work. And I've got various responsibilities for care experienced young people and for young people and children maybe at risk of harm. But I also, with Vicky, chair what's called the Mental Health and Wellbeing Task Group for young people, which is really there to make sure that we're getting the right services at the right time for young people who are experiencing some difficulties, any distress in relation to their mental health.
So my name is Laura Ballantyne and I'm Pupil Support Principal Teacher at Coatbridge High School, and within my remit in school I have responsibility for supporting the mental health and wellbeing of young people across S1 to S6, and an amazing way to do that is the North Lanarkshire initiative of mental health ambassadors.
Hi, I'm Kyle Kennedy and I'm a mental health ambassador at Coatbridge High School.
I'm Bethany Tinsley and I'm a mental health ambassador at the school.
My name's Abigail Gill, I'm part of the mental health ambassador squad in Coatbridge High.
We train a select number of S6 pupils to learn more about different aspects that we find our pupils in secondary school find really challenging with their mental health, including stress, anxiety, depression, self-harm, and generally just accessing support at times when they're maybe having a difficult day or a difficult period of time.
Things we get up to as mental health ambassadors is deliver lessons to the S2 pupils about mental health. We have 5 different lessons. What is mental health? Stress, anxiety, depression and self-harm. And we give them information about all the information they need about what is mental health and how they can help their friends and how they can get help. It's our job to try and tell them it is good to have mental health and everyone has the mental health, but you may be struggling with it more than other people. We also are trying to make sure that they know that they could come and talk to people in the school that aren't teachers, because sometimes people don't want to talk directly to teachers.
I think the kind of biggest thing affecting young people's mental health is, social media is kind of one of the biggest impacts, I would say, especially the school environment and stuff, and friendship fallouts, and just kind of keeping up to date with the latest things that are going about online.
A lot of them kind of get influenced by social media, a lot of them in the wrong ways. I need to live up to their standards, I need to look like them, I need to be like them. Nobody's kind of their own person, they're all trying to be copies of this one person, so a lot of people are getting too caught up with that, and then that can affect them quite a bit.
I think it affects them in the kind of social situation where they feel like they have to look the same and act the same as all their friends, they have to be kind of one of the mob type thing. And I think with social media as well, they have this pressure to post and be the same as all their friends and kind of be keeping up to date with everything their friends are doing, even if it's not what they think is kind of the right thing to be doing.
I think the big things that affect people's mental health are COVID especially, and that also then transition coming up to high school. I know when I came up to high school, I was really scared coming up to high school because I didn't know anybody in my class from my primary, and that just put me off high school in first year. I made friends, but then I also fell out with them, and it just caused a lot of issues. But then as the years went on, I managed to find more friends and I managed to fit in. And then also COVID as well, not being able to go out and see your friends and not being able to socialise or go out bowling or swimming, something you enjoyed, all clubs got cancelled as well.
Well, we try to help it by, first of all, encouraging young people that they don't need to be part of this stigmatised mob type thing that young people are kind of stereotyped to be, and just encouraging them to kind of seek help when they need it, and that they don't need to kind of hide behind this false face of what children are these days.
It's good. It's good knowing that I'm able to have a positive impact in somebody's life, but you need to be also prepared for, you know, you don't know what you're going to hear, so some things might have an impact on you as well, as you won't know how to deal with it, or you might have dealt with it personally. So it's all about just, you can't anticipate anything. Things will have their own effect to you in all sorts of ways.
What I do know about the input in mental health and wellbeing is that they do accept it from teachers, but they accept it much better from their peers. They like the S6 coming in to talk to them about their experience. That's a real experience for them, that's a raw experience, and they can relate to that. And the S6 mental health ambassadors, as well as our S6 peer mentors, have brilliant relationships with the lower school pupils.
I believe it's definitely helped a few individuals, because it allows them to know that if things are difficult and they're struggling, they just need to look out for a green ribbon and go up to them and just ask for 5-10 minutes of their time. You know, it doesn't happen all the time, but at least I know that if somebody does struggle, they can easily come find us. And
I wasn't a confident person, but now I'm a lot confident than what I was. And also just like getting involved with other people and being able to openly talk about mental health, it has made me learn some things about mental health as well that I didn't know beforehand.
I think mental health is really important to everyone. You know, it's part of how you function day in, day out. You know, it's not just if you're physically capable, it's if you're mentally capable to do, you know, exams, prelims, or just generally, for some people it can be even just getting out of bed in the morning. You need to be mentally and physically healthy to function.
I think it's really important young people find their voice, because without it they just kind of go with the flow of the norm of everything that goes around them. But if they do find their voice, they have that like opportunity to speak up kind of about things that they believe in, or things that their friends believe in, that otherwise wouldn't be brought to the attention of anyone without it.
I've definitely found my voice being a mental health ambassador, being able to like speak to members of staff about it as well, and being able to speak to other young people. And I feel like other young people have found their voice of like speaking to like the older pupils in the school, being able to say that how they actually feel and what they want to see in the school.
So if you were obviously talking about young people, peer pressure is really big on mental health. It can be really, really big for people. It can even even cause people just to feel really depressed.
You never know what could be happening, because somebody could be going through stuff and somebody could be going through the other.
Yeah, I would say sometimes in certain like cases, like a lot of people won't be happy with themselves, so because they're not happy with themselves, they feel that they've got to bring other people down to be happy with themselves.
Obviously cyberbullying as well is a big thing, but peer pressure is mostly just what ruins children's mental health.
Well, what we know is that certainly from accessing of our different services, anxiety and stress feature really highly in terms of why children and young people come to us for the different services that and supports that we provide. And I think it's important for young people to realise that anxiety and some level of anxiety and stress is normal, and it's a normal part of development, and they're experiencing new experiences, new situations for them to deal with, but that's normal. And we know that in terms of for coping with anxiety, that things like making sure they're getting good sleep, good nutrition, they've got someone they feel they can speak to, and also they've got time to connect with friends and do something that they can enjoy, is a really helpful way of being able to alleviate some of that anxiety.
I think that the main things that affect people's mental health, that like my age and younger and above just now, is bullying and people making other comments to them and how their appearance is, and like just things that they're deliberately doing to hurt people.
I think something that affects young people's mental health today is social media, because there's loads of people who use social media to bully young people.
Social media affect it the most, I would say, because you can get anybody on it, you can message anybody on it, nothing's ever private. Like your accounts could be private, but there's still things that they can access from your account being private. So anybody could screenshot anything of that and send it to you, and just because they're not happy with it, they're going to have a go at you and call you all these different names.
So what we're learning from listening to young people, so through some of the surveys, through what they're telling us through the service they're accessing, that anxiety is a major issue for them, especially coming out of the pandemic. So that's something that we're really trying to focus on in terms of as how we're supporting young people. And we're also recognising more and more that neurodiversity issues are affecting young people in different ways, and that is a major issue, and it's not always recognised. So it's about raising awareness about that, and obviously helping us to respond to young people's needs in the right way.
So we've got a whole different range of different supports and services, and we've just recently launched a new website, and that helps people find out what's available across Lanarkshire for different levels of support for mental health and wellbeing. And some of these supports are things like COOTH, which is the digital a mental health service that's available across both North and South Lanarkshire, and children and young people aged between 10 to 18 can access COOTH for free, and they can do that themselves. They don't need to be referred to it at all, and we're seeing some really good positive stories coming out of that for young people that have engaged through COOTH and that digital online service. We also have a range of different groups, so things like Living Life to the Full that Community Learning and Development deliver. We have got services that are provided through our school nurses, addressing anxiety management, and we also have a number of different specialised services that are there to support care experienced young people and to make sure that they are getting the mental health services and support that they require as well.
When I've not had the best day, like when I'll come to a group like this, or I'll come to any group in at home, it takes your mind off it. It helps you, it's like a run away from what's happened throughout that day, so you can just come here and escape from reality and just do what's best for you and be you.
Really helps with your mental health, anxiety. It's a very safe place, and everyone who in that group stays in that group.
So in this group, I've got obviously a lot of support from the people who run this group, from the people who go to this group, and yeah, mostly just get support.
This group's helped me find my voice because it's made me more confident, and it's really helped me.
The group helps me by being myself, and that helps me do what I want to do.
We want to make sure that children and young people know that they are absolutely pivotal to our development and design of services, and we are there to make sure that we listen, we respect and we respond to the information that they provide us, so that we can shape those services to make sure that they can engage with them, to make sure that we're promoting them in the correct way, to make sure that it's getting the information out in the best way that it possibly can, so that they can then take up the different services that they need, and they can help tell us what those services are, so that it's at the right time and the right place where they need it. And it also extends out to family members as well.
We kind of speak to families and young people, ask them what they think is making the most difference, and then what we try and do as a group is use the money resources we've got and the people resources, the staff we've got, to set a plan to get the right services to young people. So as an example of that, what we've done is we've put more money into supporting families where young people have got experienced a neurodevelopmental issue like ADHD or something like that. And we've also, as I've mentioned, anxiety, we've put some more money into some services in schools that can help young people with that issue. But we do that by kind of talking together and listening to what young people are telling us.
And what's really important about that is that maybe some young children and people don't feel that they've got a voice, or they don't feel that they're being listened to. And I think it's really important. We want to reassure them that we absolutely are and acting on their behalf, and we're listening to that, and we respect what the information is that we're getting. And these task groups made up of the different collectives across the different partners are really acting on that information.
Basically, when we work together, we're able to have a bigger impact, and we'll also be able to give some young people a bit more choice about what works for them better. So it's really important. And of course, the other partnership is important. Above all else is obviously the partnership with children and families. So therefore, trying to create services with them is really important. And an example of that would be we've recently created a special counselling service for care experienced young people who've left care, and we did that with those young people. They were part of selecting the service, choosing what the service would look like, and so they were getting the right thing for them.
If you were having a bad day, obviously you could talk to people. If I was having a bad day, I could obviously talk to people, try to get my head into a different zone. If I was feeling really sad, I would try my hardest to get into, because I do music, try to even learn something new or do music.
This has helped me find my voice because it's told me that I am the better version of myself that I am just now, and to have days that you're not the best of you is okay, and just because you don't feel good one day doesn't mean that there's not another day for you to be better and for you to feel more you. In this group, that's what this group's for. It's there to support you and make you feel like the better version of yourself.
Loads of young people have bad mental health, and they don't really, some of them don't have a place to feel like safe to go to talk about it, and it's lucky that we have this group to go to talk about our mental health and figure out ways how to solve the problems.
I'm here at Tesco in Coatbridge, a bit of Tuesday night shopping. No, we are here to visit the Space Project, a mental health group focused for young people in Coatbridge. Let's see what it's all about.
Hello, I'm Gabriella and I'm here tonight at The Space, which is a youth group that helps with my mental health. So when I was younger, I went through some things and I just wanted to know what was going on, like why was I thinking like this, and like if it was normal and things. So I started talking to my friends, and then I started realising like everyone has mental health, like it's normal to have bad days and good days. And then I started speaking to people in school, and that's how I got introduced to different groups, and that's how I got here.
Tonight I'm at The Space. We're learning about social media and like the good bits and the bad bits about it, and how it can affect you basically, and like how it affects your mental health. And we've had a chat about our highs and lows of this week, and yeah, it's been fun so far.
I first got involved in The Space because I started running for MSYP, which is the Scottish Youth Parliament, and I just wanted to get to know some of the young people in my area, and just to see what some of the groups were about, and it really stuck because I really enjoyed it.
Mental health is a huge factor in young people's lives, and I think COVID has had a big impact on that. So I'm very passionate about mental health, and the reason I profile about mental health because not enough people talk about it. When I started this post, I really wanted to have a community group that was in the centre of Coatbridge, that there was no kind of boundaries with areas that people live in or anything like that. So having it in the Tesco community room, there's no stigma around coming to Tesco. There's no boundaries as to them getting to it because they're worried about other people that live in that area. And it's just been a really welcoming group. They're a great bunch, and I think it's testament to the group that so many people have came on their own without knowing anybody else, and the group's taken them in with open arms. There's great friendships being made within the group, and I really look forward to every Wednesday night.
At The Space, we like to teach young people coping mechanisms, make them feel better about their mental health, make them feel more ready to deal with their mental health whenever things get hard, so that hopefully in the future, whenever they're having a bad day, they've got all the tools that they need.
Well, I feel like I've improved on making friends because I'm not very good at making friends in all honesty. But as soon as I came, I felt welcome, and like I felt like I could talk to anyone here, and you know, it was easy enough to make friends here. I felt like I could fit in, felt like I could relate with people. It wasn't like a really awkward situation because like, I have really niche interests compared to other people my age. As soon as I went in there, I started talking about roller coasters, and people were like, oh, I've been on that, I've been on the Smiler, and I was like, me too. So I got really excited, and I made a lot of friends here, so it's really helped me in the social aspect.
I done Living Life to the Full, I think it was in SD, and it was really good because I met one of my closest friends there, and it was just really good. It got me close to people, it got my confidence up, it made me learn like a bunch of coping mechanisms, it made me like understand things. It was just a really good, like nice place to be. So yeah, and then the people there went to this group, and that's how we all kind of went here.
The way I feel about my mental health is that it's really improved since I've started coming to The Space because, as I said, I was at a really low point in my life. Like, my mum was freaking out, I was freaking out. I just started S5, so it's all about hires this year, which are what basically get you into uni, and I've been really freaked out over that as well, and I've been like trying to decide my future because I still have no idea what I want to do. But coming to the space, it's just like a retreat for an hour and a half of your week. Yeah, it seems a bit random, yeah, it's in Tesco and stuff, but like, I love it, it's so fun.
I definitely think it's a lot better that young people have spaces like this and safe people that they can talk to when they're not feeling good, because there's nothing worse than bottling things up whenever you're not feeling great or being expected to bottle things up. It's great whenever there's outlets and places there for young people to express how they feel, maybe find out that they're not alone and there's other people that feel the same way. They can learn coping mechanisms and learn different ways of dealing with hard times off of their friends and the people around about them. And if it was something that they didn't feel as if they could talk about, or it wasn't a safe space to talk about, they maybe wouldn't find these ways to overcome hard times.
I have a lot more confidence now. I didn't really talk out in classes and things. I was always doubting myself, and like talking to new people was not my thing. So I think it's like made me grow a lot as a person. So it's really good.
Coming to the space has really helped me become a bit more outgoing, in all honesty. Like, at first I was struggling to go to my school snowball because I'm not really a party person, but like, I got given some tips from some of the youth workers at the space, and it helped me really enjoy my night, in all honesty. Like, I had way more fun than what I thought I would have had. I thought I would have been overwhelmed all night, but I eventually got into it, and I just realised some of the tips would really help me in like the busy times of it.
There's been a few young people there's ones that don't even attend school, but week on week they come to the space. They've been put through accreditations, whereas they can't even do a full week at school, let alone a full day. So it shows their commitment to come into the group every week, walking away with certificates, and that sense of pride that they've had by doing that.
I think there should be more things like this for young people because it's vital, it is amazing, and it's a great tool that not a lot of people know about. So definitely more young people should come along to groups like The Space because it is vital to some people's week-to-week schedules like myself.
I think groups like The Space will help stop and tackle the taboo of mental health, because like it's such an like controversial topic to bring up in an everyday conversation, but I feel like places like The Space, you can just bring up how you're feeling and like whether or not you're feeling mentally okay, or if you're not feeling mentally okay, you could get some help from here. And people are really open and welcoming to talk about it.
Come along, please. Like, it's so good. I think it's helped me so much, and there's such great people here. Like, everyone here is just so lovely, and like it's such a nice place. Like, it's something to look forward to. It's so good. I would recommend.
What a great group and a great bunch of young people. A group really making a difference in Coatbridge.
Oh, their voice matters because they are the very people that we are trying to target. They are the ones that we want to try and make sure that they can access the different services that they need. And in terms of all the United Nations rights of the children and making sure that we are listening and responding to what the needs are, it's hugely important to make sure that we get it right for all the children in North Lanarkshire.
Oh, I mean, that's absolutely fundamental. That's part of their well-being, so they've got a right to have their voice heard, and they've got a right to a standard of service to support them, and to have their needs met. So their voice is actually central to that. So it's a great theme for the week because it really puts them kind of front and centre, rather than thinking about these are all the services, these are what we can do. It's actually taking the stance the other way, and actually, what are young people telling us? What do they need? And then it gives us a kind of like an agenda for action, if you see what I mean. So that's absolutely crucial. And all what young people have told us is if we don't do things with them, then obviously that's not going to work, or they're not going to buy into it.